Hello guys, I'm back from another video and today we're talking about what if I was in My Hero Academia. So, in the last video, we moved to Hajime going to going to the palace of Izuku Midoriya, aka Mobster, in North America. And his team consists of Hajime, Bakugo, Momo, Kendo, and Jiro. When they get there, they see that the palace resembles a British estate, where they also see several quirk users being turned into slaves, being tortured, being used as nothing more than, you know, well, cattle than anything else. So, after getting there, only being, Hajime, Momo, Kendo, and Chiro, they face off against, Izuku Midoriya. But they get, captured by them as he tells a story. The story of how he became this. And it's really dark. Apparently, Izuku was bullied even though he's fought, even his mother didn't even, decide to help him out. As Bakugo basically killed him. Basically. As when he did die, he meets Lavenza. As Lavenza gives him a choice, getting his revenge or just going to heaven. He took the latter, as he terrorized his old world, letting the world die and turning every single quirk user into slaves, except for ones in Class 1A and Class 1B in UA, turning them into the Royal Guard. And for Bakugo was turned into a dog for Izuku to play with. As in play with, I mean torture and torture, murdered him and murdered him several times. The reason why, Bakugo is still alive, or at least his Bakugo, is because of a special, collar and chains. These chains can basically revive, him every time when he gets killed, but if he dares take them off, he would die slowly and painfully. After doing that, they started fighting. Thanks to the help of Bakugo, Bakugo almost beaten him, but he tried to shoot Bakugo with one of his rifles. But Hajime blocks the shot, sacrificing himself. As everybody starts going towards, Hajime, asking him, is he okay? But he doesn't respond. As Izuku would put his guns, or should I say rifles, onto the heads of both Momo and Jiro. As he would say this, any last words? As we ended the episode right there. And so, let's talk about what happens next. So, Hajime wakes up in this weird looking place. This place is all blue. No, I'm probably gonna get copyrighted. No. Just imagine this place blue, as the place resembles a gambling, as he would see two people. One of them, this man, seemed to be wearing a butler-like outfit. The other, a woman. A woman with this almost, crazy hairstyle. And another man, right beside her, playing a piano. As he seems to be playing it, but not only that, he seems to be blindfolded. As he says this, the man, I am nameless. Welcome to the Velvet Room. It seems that the wild card is no longer here, and so the unknown shall arise from its ashes. As Hajime would say this, where am I? As the woman would say this, welcome to the Velvet Room. as he would say this. But where is, as this man says this. Hi, my name is Victor. Nice to meet you, Mr. Unknown. As he would say this, just call me, Hajime. Uh, Either way, where am I? As she would say this, this is the Velvet Room. A place used to be used by the wild cards. But unfortunately, the wild cards have been corrupted. Corrupted after the progenitor of the recently created wild card gave birth and created a brand new wild card. This wild card was corrupted and believed herself and now angered at a certain type of people, the quirk users. As she would bring out a deck of cards, as she starts shuffling the cards, these quirk users were angry at these monsters and they want to kill them. Not only that, they hated, most importantly, the species of this woman, Lavenza, the recently created wild card, as she created these Infernity Knights. These Infernity Knights, these people that were corrupted by their anger, their rage, their hatred for that group of people, they became corrupted themselves. And they took over their worlds, thinking that they believed themselves. Then those worlds, gods, I'm so disappointed. But you, Hajime, you're the key. You're the key that will try. You're the key that will finally defeat and end this age of strife. As he would say this, I don't know what you're talking about. This sounds crazy. I'm just a hero in training. As she would say this. You're not a hero in training anymore. You're now the savior. Defeat them. Defeat him specifically. And this world wait for a second. And this world shall no longer be, well, tainted. As he said, that's impossible. He's super powerful, and I'm just, as she would say this, don't worry, we can help. You just need to go to your true self. Your true selves. As he would say this, being Hajime, what do you mean? As Victor would say this, well, there is a true self, and with that true self, and if you, wait for accept that, I'm sorry about that. If you accept your true self, you will gain power even greater than the Infernity Knights combined. As he would say this, do you accept? As Hajime would agree. As he was teleported to this black void, as he would see a different version of himself, a one that is covered in bandages, his horns grown as his eyes burned a bright, bright, bright blue. As he looks over, as one of his other eyes seems to be a pure dark purple, as he would say this, so you're my other self. The one that fakes being happy, being a hero. As one of them being, well, the actual Hajime would say this, what do you mean? As he would say this, why do you even want to become a hero? Clearly, you're not human at all. Not only that, you're connected with that Infinity Night guys or whatever. Even connected to hell with that Schnippelstein, whatever the frick they're called. But either way, you do not deserve to be a hero. You're a freak like them. As he would say this, no, I am not a freak. As he would say this, really? Then why am I chained? Why am I bounded? Why am I here? As he would say this, because you're misunderstood. As this other self looks at him, saying, really? Misunderstood. As Hajime comes closer to his other self and says this, yes, we are just misunderstood. We want to become whatever we want. This is our story. It doesn't matter if we're just monsters, demons, angels, or whatever. We can be whatever we want. As this other self says this. I'm guessing you finally accepted your true self for what you are. As he disappears, as something appears out of the darkness, this figure resembling two of his personas, Adonius and Awe, or Onwe, as each of them say this, we are thou, and thou art we. We are finally one. We are complete. And we are Mordred. As when Izuku in the outside world gets ready to shoot both Jiro and Momo, well, Hajime would wake up, destroying both of his rifles. As Izuku would say this, what? I thought you were dead. I thought I'd shoot you with one of my special bullets. As he would say this, oh, I'm not dead. I'm reborn. As his mask would change, turning into a half and half mask. One half resembling his, well, Onmei mask and the other his Adonius mask. As he would say this, allow me to show self. Allow me to show you the rebellious knight that I am. Come forth, Mordred, as his persona appears. As his brand new persona appears, this persona resembling both of his original personas, but with a brand new body. As Bakugo would say this, what happened to your... As he would say this, no, this is who I really am. I am a clone of your so-called mistress's father, but I am my own person. As the persona wields his purple blade, as it points it at Izuku, as Hajime would say this, but I would rather die than ever join you, and I won't let you hurt my friends and my family. Got it, punk? As Izuku would say this, why you? As he says this, come forth, Yomonganda! As his persona appears, as he rides on a throne, as the serpent, being Jormungandr, surrounds him, as he says this, poison him, freeze him, I don't care, just take him down. I don't want him getting near me. As Jormungandr starts creating icicles filled with poison, as Hajime would start cutting them down with his brand new persona, well, Mordred. As Mordred would touch ice and fire at the same time. Everybody can feel the hot and cold from his, well, brand new persona. As, well, Izuku would say this is impossible. How is he able? Wait. As he checks it out with his mystic eyes, as he says this out loud, your arcana is changed. As his arcana is changed, now instead of a man bursting into flame, like bursting into flames, basically like crying out, instead, it's a knight, resembling, well, a more humanoid version of Mordred. One side is fueled with conflict and anger, and the other peaceful and bright. And in the middle is Mordred, wielding both a sword and a icy cold gauntlet. As he would say this, this power, it's unlike any other. But I won't lose. I am an Infernity Knight, and I should never lose. As he would grab, well, two more rifles out of nowhere and start shooting at, well, Hajime. Hajime would grab both of his axes, as two of his axes was covered in the, well, purple flame. As he goes towards him, jumping and basically slashing at the chair as his persona dissipates. As Ezekiel would say this, no, how am I losing? You're supposed to be, as he would say this, dead? Sorry, but I'm going to be the savior of this world, and I won't let you hurt any of my friends, family, or anybody innocent anymore. Just because those people hurt you, or whatever, it doesn't mean that you had to just do those things to others. Just because you were hated and bullied, just because you were quirkless, doesn't mean that you can take it out on others. As he would say this, shut up, shut up, shut up! You don't know how it feels to be tortured, to be in pain. You don't know how it feels to be scarred and ripped apart by those people. That's right. I'm not gonna lose. I have this. As he wields a gun, as he says this, I won't lose. I won't lose. As this gun was shot, as this gun rings out, they see Hajime with a gigantic hole in his chest. But it starts regrowing, as Hajime would say this, see what you think? I'm now invulnerable now. After I accepted my true self. This is what I have learned. As Izuku would drop to the ground, as he would say this in his mind, how am I losing? I'm supposed to be Infernity Knight, the Infernity Knight of Suburbia, the greatest family of all time. I should never. No, you're cheating, says Izuku. As he would say this, you're cheating, you're cheating, you're cheating, you're cheating. As his eyes start glowing a pure, like a pure golden color. As he would say this, you're cheating, you're cheating, you're cheating. As his eyes glowing more and more golden. As he says this, I won't lose, I won't lose. As his body starts being encased in this marble-like substance. As his body turns into a statue that makes him look he's a king. As something transforms, his persona transforms, becoming more humanoid. Wait for a second. As his persona would resemble more humanoid, his body would resemble a man but the face is covered by a metal mask. The metal mask has like, has sharp teeth, but X's on the eyes as well. It wears a crown, but it also seems to be mixed with a fedora. The body resembles, well, a mobster of some kind, as the chest, or specifically under the jacket type thing, seems to be a large hole, as the arms, or at least the lack thereof, are replaced with two guns. As for his legs, they seem to be resembling, well, the legs resemble like they were encased in, well, cement. As there's two chains, as these two chains seem to be connected to two faces, one happy and the other one angry, as the persona screams out this: "I will not lose! I am the king! I am the king!" As it starts shooting, well, everything, including his own, well, men. As the personas, not personas, I meant, well, his squire, wait for a second, God. His squire, Blitzwing, and also the, well, row guards, including Bakugo, or at least his version of Bakugo, starts running away. As his persona would speak again: "I am the king, Snorky. I should not lose. I should not lose." As he starts pointing his guns at both, well, wait for a second, at both Hajime and also, well, the entire group itself. As he would say this: "You're cheaters, you're cheaters, you're cheaters!" As he starts shooting at him. As Hajime would start using his axes again. As both of the axes would break, as he would start using his gun instead. As for his persona starts blocking the attacks coming from, well, this persona's, well, or at least like, well, Izuku's like more corrupted slash like shadow self persona. As one of them would say this: "Whoa, this guy seems to be insane." As he would say this, being to persona: "I should not lose. I am the king. Kings are not supposed to lose. You, you cheaters!" As guns come out of nowhere, floating up in the sky, as these guns start shooting at them. As for his persona, well, Mordred would start slicing all of the guns in half, destroying them all. As for Snorky, being his corrupted persona, he grabs onto his, well, persona user, aka Mizuku, as he starts flying away, going into an airship. This airship seems to resemble a large, well, you know, like the helicarrier from like a Marvel, and so they leave. Everybody would say this: "We, we did it. We actually stopped the invasion." As the estate would crumble, as everybody started running away from the place, almost resembling, well, the ending like the ending sequence in like Kamoshida's palace from Persona 5. As when they get out, they see that the place is now destroyed. Now completely destroyed. As they hear the helicopter, they start going back to Japan. When they get back to Japan, they see the other groups there. As everybody said this: "We did it! We actually did it! We actually..." As they hear on the news something ominous. Apparently the news said that there's this gigantic ass army coming towards, well, Japan, as it's being led by Lavenza with the rest of the Inferni Knights. The rest of the Inferni Knights seem to be all recovered, including Hajime, in a quick time, in fact. As everybody would say this, what? Did we fail? But they also see a few more figures. These, figures seem to be, six figures in fact. One seems to be a man with a goatee, as he seems to be, the king of something. The other seems to be a blonde woman. This woman seems to be quite fancy, seems to be a queen. Another with, ginger hair, as he seems to have a hook for a hand. He is quite old, seeming to have like a, what do you actually call it? A 5 o'clock shadow. Another, a woman that seems to have, wolf-like ears and wolf-like tail. As for the other two, they seem to be women. One of them resembles, this woman seems to be quite strong, judging by her muscles and tone. And finally, for the other woman, she seems to be another queen as well, as she's, sitting on a throne as well, and sipping on some high class wine. And so, they hear the sound of horns in the distance, as several, cities were being, not really destroyed, but in fact, more like, being provided some weird looking items. As several of the heroes arrived, when they tried to attack, let's just say they were decimated. But not destroying the buildings, in fact. In fact, the buildings were completely intact when they got attacked. I mean, the rhyme says it all, I guess. As they see that they're coming towards UA, thinking the worst, they think that they're planning their final attack. And so, this will be the end of the episode. So, this is actually going to be a pretty short episode because, the next episode is probably going to be the end. So, I hope you're ready for that. So, I hope you liked the video, comment, and subscribe, and I hope to see you guys next time. Bye-bye!